Hey guys, this is dclaiche, and why have you guys not been watching my videos? Like the last 10 videos that I uploaded, barely any of them reached 10 views. What's going on, guys? I mean, I'm putting a lot of work into those videos. Why aren't you watching?
Why did you stop doing cube reviews? Everybody knows that your main audience is the Rubik's Cubers, and you haven't done a single one in like a month.
Okay, why do you have a mustache?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that guy is right. I haven't done that many cube reviews in a while. Mainly because I don't have that much new stuff. I haven't gotten any new things for a very long time. I haven't done that many unboxings. I do want to get more stuff. I just don't have the money right now. So I'm gonna eventually do reviews of like the Moyu, Oolong, or the Aosu, or as soon as I get those. But it seems like there's a lot of the stuff that's coming out today is just Moyu stuff. And I haven't really been keeping up. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to review an old cube. This is a cube that's from like the year 2009. Yes, I know that's very, very old, and a bunch of you probably haven't even been cubing back then. But I was cubing in 2009, and I remember when this cube came out. So today we're going to review the Mini DianSheng. This cube was specifically made to be a really good speed cube and also to fit into your pocket, which it does fairly well. But today there are probably better cubes that are at the same size. But it doesn't matter. Let's not talk about those. Today, let's talk about the Mini DianSheng. Let's go. I need to come up with better transitions. And here we have the miniature DianSheng cube. This cube was, I believe, released in 2009, and I think that the first place that it was ever sold was at US Nationals 2009, and it was sold there for $5. Or at least that's what I remember from the Pacific video that I watched back then. Now, I don't remember the exact dimensions of the Mini DianSheng. I think it was like 46 millimeters or something around there. But it's a pretty small cube. You know, it could fit in your pocket. Probably not comfortably, but it could fit in your pocket, and it could be concealed much, much more easily than the regular 57 millimeter cubes. As you can see, this cube comes in white, and I think that they come in black, but I haven't really checked up on it. It's been a while since I've seen any news related to the Mini DianSheng, and the only places I ever saw it, it's always been white. So it's not really my type of cube because I usually prefer solving black cubes, but color of the cube aside, it still is pretty good. Now, the company that makes this is the DianSheng company, and this is what their logo looks like. There's the logo, which for some reason is a 5x5 without its corners, and there's a shiny light. Ooh. So anyways, this cube is a DianSheng cube, but it's also known as the Type E cube. And what does Type E mean? Well, if you were a cuber back in the years of 2008 and 2009, you know that most of the DIYs that came out back then, they had letter names. For example, Type A, Type B. Type A was made by like the company Alpha. Type B was terrible. I do not recommend getting it. And then there was Type C, D, E, and F. This being E. Now, those letters basically mean that the core was made a different way. Or it's made out of like a different plastic, or it's straighter or something like that. I don't really remember. But none of the cubes had different pieces than a regular Rubik's Cube. They were all the same. It was just the cores that were different. And while not a lot of people would think that that makes a big difference, it actually did in a lot of cubes. For example, the Type A and the Type C and the Type D and F were all really good cubes, while the Type B was absolutely horrible. And they shared the same, internal design. They all had the same thing on the inside, but the core was just a little bit different. And, sometimes the core would be a certain color, which would designate what cube it was. Like, say, Type A's had yellow cores, and the DianSheng, Type E had a red core, except for the mini ones. The mini ones all had white cores. And then the cube for you DIYs had orange cores and, stuff like that. So anyways, moving away from that, let's start to get into how good the cube actually is. The turning is pretty good, if a little bit scratchy. You may have to lubricate it, but overall, the turning is pretty smooth. The corner cutting is decent. You know, it is not cut 45 degrees, unfortunately. I mean, you can probably loosen it, but you know, it's okay, I guess. It has absolutely no reverse corner cutting because, you know, this is an early cube and this was made before Dian came out with the idea for reverse corner cutting. But back then, nobody really complained. But now, people nowadays like to solve their cubes a lot more recklessly because most cubes today have the ability to reverse corner cut, so we can be a little bit more reckless and the cube will be able to handle it. This cube doesn't really do that. So as you can see, the cube does lock up. Also, popping does happen because, you know, it is, after all, a regular Rubik's Cube mechanism. As far as the stickers go, there are none. This is all paint, and it makes it feel pretty good. The problem is the paint does chip. It does scratch away. I mean, there's even paint right here. I don't even know why they bothered putting white paint right here because it's a white cube, but whatever. The paint, you know, it's pretty good. I've had this cube for about a year, and you can barely even tell that it's chipping. But I have a feeling that if I used it a whole lot more, then yeah, this paint would probably be chipping all over the place, and there might be some squares missing. As far as tensioning goes, this cube does have center caps. Unfortunately, there is no little latch that you can reach your fingernail in and pull it out. But it does have center caps, so you can adjust it. It is, after all, a DIY. Now, back when this cube came out, it was used for one of two purposes, just being a miniature cube that you could also speed cube with, or it was a one-handed cube. It could still be used as a one-handed cube. I can definitely see that, but other cubes like the mini Zanchis are probably a little bit better to use, but that's up to you, really. I mean, I used a regular Rubik's Cube for my one-handed cube for the longest time. I think that back then, if you were going to buy a miniature DianSheng, it was going to be for one of those two reasons. Either just be a little cube that you could carry around in your pocket, pull out, and then still be able to show people how fast you are, or it was your one-handed cube. Now, if you have very small hands, then I could definitely see this being a main speed cube, especially if you like white. But yeah, in this day and age with all the new cubes out, it really does not serve that much of a purpose anymore. It was a great cube in its time, but nowadays it's kind of just a memento to keep. If you still want it, I don't know exactly where you can get it, but they're fairly cheap. They shouldn't be any more than $5. So if you want one, you can go out and get one. I don't know if you can get them in black, but I'm sure there's probably somewhere out there because I think I saw a black DianSheng a while ago. And now I'm going to show you a solve with this cube, and it probably won't be the best one, but you know, it's a mini cube. I can't really complain.
That is not a good time for me, I want to point out, because, well, it's just the fact that this is a smaller cube and it's white, so its limitations kind of make my times a little slower. I am usually a 13 to 12 second solver, or 12 to 13. So this cube, at least for me, would definitely not work as a speed cube.
And with that, hopefully you got an idea of how this thing works. It's by no means the best cube out there. It is far from that, but it's not a bad cube. It's good. It was good for its time. Let's just say that. And now the final conclusion of this review is the Mini DianSheng is by no means the best cube out there on the market. But for people like me who have been cubing for at least 5 years and remember when it first came out, it's nice to have just to remind you of the old days of cubing. You know, it's nice for memories. I can't believe that I'm saying the old days of cubing when cubing is now like 40-something years old. Yeah, that makes me sound very, very stupid. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. It wasn't really much. And I'm sorry, but I don't really have that much to review. I mean, I have an entire Shengshao collection. If you guys want me to do that, then then I'll do it. I'll review like the 7x7. I won't review the 8x8 because I don't have another 8x8 to compare it to. And that's one of the things that I take into account during these reviews is I don't review something that I have when I don't have another one of the same thing to compare it to. That's why I haven't done a review of the Cube Twist Square one, because I've never played with another Square one. And I haven't done one of the Pyramix because I don't have another Pyramix. As soon as I get another one of any of those items, I will be able to do a whole lot more reviews. But as for now, I don't really have that much for you. But I will still try to come out with some new Rubik's Cube reviews. And who knows, hopefully I will be able to get some tutorials out. Maybe some tutorials. I don't really see what else I could. Well, I guess I could. I could try to teach you how to solve a Siamese cube, but that was a whole lot more. This is a whole lot more difficult to teach than a lot of other puzzles. Anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video now. Thanks for watching the video. Please like it, comment, and subscribe, and watch me and John's bi-weekly, or just every other, just watch our talk show, Let's Talk. And this is dclaiche saying goodbye. Dude, get out of here. I don't want to get out of here. That mustache looks so fake. Don't you say that about Musty. I love you, Musty. You're so fluffy and soft, and I love it. My brother's going to get me a mustache to wear in this video. I naturally grow a mustache, but as you can clearly see, I shaved it off. So, hey, give me that mustache.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so I now have, oh great, it's the Hitler stash. I'll have to deal with it. If I can get the camera to focus, which it probably should. And here, come on, we can do that. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you, you stupid camera. Come on. I believe in you. Okay, you know what? I'm giving up on you, you stupid camera. You are not gonna focus in the slightest. Come on. Oh, there it is. I just had to back up a bit.